Free agent wide receiver and former New York Giant Odell Beckham Jr. is expected to sign with the team before the final month of the NFL season. New York Post sports columnist Ian O'Connor thinks the G-men need to bring OBJ back to his old J-O-B. Ian joins me now. Ian, how's it going, man?
Good to see you, Dexter, as always.
As always, good to see you. Now, Ian, we have heard of Beckham's interest in signing with several teams. So do you believe the Giants have a realistic shot to sign OBJ?
I do. Now the question is, how much do the Giants want to sign OBJ? And I guess we'll find out soon enough. But I think there is a sentimental attachment to New York that Beckham has. I do know that he loved his time in New York, and he had great relationships in that locker room and throughout the organization. He did some at times wacky things, and he was a high maintenance player. But man, when he was healthy, he's one of the best offensive players the Giants have ever had. So I do think it's realistic. They have an obvious, desperate need for a wide receiver. And this is a team that will make the playoffs, I believe. So if he's available and he's not going to cost you any draft capital, I think it makes all the sense in the world to do it.
All right, now it's a question of will they do it? Now, as you mentioned, they have a desperate need for wide receivers. The Giants' offense has been pretty one-dimensional this season. If they bring Beckham back, how do you see him impacting Big Blue's offense?
I think he would impact them in a big way, Dexter. You look at the Giants right now, their leading receiver, Slayton, what does he have? 327 yards. That's not in the top 70 in the NFL. They don't have a top 70 wide receiver. I'm pretty sure Beckham would be that, at least for the prorated part of the season he plays for the Giants, maybe 5 games or so. And you look at what he did in the postseason last year. He wasn't that great for the Rams in the regular season after they acquired him. But look at the NFC Championship game, 113 receiving yards. Look at the Super Bowl. He was on his way to a big game. He had a touchdown, and then he got hurt. So that's the thing with Beckham. He's got to stay healthy. And maybe that's the one blessing in disguise with his recovery from surgery, is that he didn't get banged up for the first, say, 12 games of the season, and he should be pretty fresh. And at this point, he has to be considered a major upgrade on what the Giants have right now at wide receiver.
Oh, yeah, definitely would be a major upgrade there. So, Ian, let's say OBJ's back in New York with the G-men before December starts. Is this a feel-good reunion story, or is it one that shows how serious the Giants are about winning right now?
I think both. I think the latter is obviously, to me, more important because the Giants thought they were rebuilding this year. This was almost a giveaway year with a new general manager, a new head coach starting over. But all of a sudden, out of left field, here they are at 7-2, and there doesn't appear to be a powerhouse team in the NFC. If you want to argue Minnesota, go ahead. With Kirk Cousins, I think that's an iffy proposition in the postseason. The Eagles just lost. The Cowboys now have more losses than the Giants do. So I think the Giants have to take this and take this ride the distance and see how far they can go. You never know in sports. The Bengals made the Super Bowl last year. Nobody saw that coming. I'm not saying the Giants will do the same thing, but Beckham is a guy who I think would certainly increase their chances of making some sort of postseason run, assuming they get into the tournament, and I think they will.
And real quick, Ian, we know you talked about this in your column, 50-50 chance he goes to the Giants or the Cowboys. What's your gut tell you? If you had to bet on this right now, Giants or Cowboys, where's Beckham going?
I would probably say Cowboys because he just might say, listen, Dak Prescott is a better quarterback than Daniel Jones. And he would go that route and say, hey, I did the New York thing once already. Let me try something different like I did last year, and it worked out in a big way with the Rams. But I think the Giants have a real chance. Talking to his high school coach and confidant Nelson Stewart yesterday, and he felt like the Giants were right there and maybe the leader in the clubhouse. So I do think it's a realistic scenario, and we'll see how it plays out in the coming days and weeks.
We will see how it plays out. Ian O'Connor, sports columnist for the New York Post. He will be all over that. Ian, good to talk with you. Thanks for the time. Appreciate it, man.
Thanks, Dexter. Take care.